Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. In early February, the US shot down a Chinese spy balloon that had traveled over a large swath of North America. According to the Biden administration, the balloon was part of a larger Chinese surveillance balloon program, which the White House argued had violated the sovereignty of nations all over the world. The Chinese government accused the US of overreacting and signaled that it viewed the response as a sign of American decline. As a matter of fact, the program that led to the spy balloon had been discussed in China's state-controlled media for more than a decade. The reports, dating back to at least 2011, focused on how best to exploit what is known as near space, that portion of the atmosphere that is too high for traditional aircraft to fly but too low for a satellite to remain in orbit. Those early articles may offer clues to the capabilities of the balloon shot down by a US jet fighter on February 4th. On July 5, 2011, an article was published in the People's Liberation Army Daily titled "Near Space, a Strategic Asset That Ought Not to Be Neglected." It read, "In recent years, near space has been discussed often in foreign media, with many military commentators pointing out that this is a special sphere that had been neglected by militaries but now has risen to hotspot status." The article quoted Zhang Dongjiang, a senior researcher at the Chinese Academy of Military Science, discussing the potential applications of flying objects designed for near space. This is an area sitting in between air and space, where neither the theory of gravity nor Kepler's law is independently applicable, thus limiting the freedom of flight for both aircraft that are designed based on a theory of gravity and the spacecraft that follow Kepler's law. Zhang was quoted as saying, he noted that near space lacks the disturbance of aeronautical attitudes such as turbulence, thunder, and lightning, yet is cheaper and easier to reach than the attitudes where satellite can remain in orbit. At the same time, he added, near space is much higher than sky, hence holding superb prospects and the potential for intelligence collection, reconnaissance, and surveillance, securing communication, as well as air and ground warfare. Zhang suggested that near space can be exploited with high dynamic craft that travel faster than the speed of sound, such as hypersonic cruise vehicles and sub-orbital vehicles, which can arrive at a target with high speed, attack with both high speed and precision, and can be deployed repeatedly. But he said near space also can provide an environment for slower vehicles, which he called low dynamic craft, such as airships, high-altitude balloons, and solar-powered unmanned vehicles. These, he said, are capable of carrying payloads capable of capturing light, infrared rays, multi-spectacle, hyperspectacle radar, and other info, which can then be used to increase battlefield sensory and knowledge capability, support military operations. They also can carry various payloads aimed at electronic counter-battle, fulfilling the aim of electronic magnetic suppression and electronic magnetic attack on the battlefield, damage and destroy an adversary's information systems. 4 years later, after the PLA Daily article, images were published in the military pages of Global Times of two small-scale stratospheric vehicles identified as KF-13 and KF-16. According to an explanatory note published alongside the model shown in the Global Times, the vehicles were developed by the Optoelectronics Engineering Institute of Beijing Aeronautics and Aerospace University, China's main aeronautical and aerospace research university. The institution is now known as Beihang University. The explanatory note said a key feature of the vehicles was their unmanned and remote control dual capability. Work was being done in Beijing and Shanghai as well as in Shanxi province on seeing the vehicles evolve from concept to production, according to the October 2015 article. Other images of near-space objects that surfaced the same month featured variously shaped aircraft whose features and functions include high-functioning surface materials, emergency control mechanism, precise flight control technology, high-efficiency propeller technology, high-efficiency solar technology, and ground operation integration technology. An image of a blimp-like near-space flying object called the Yuanmeng was also posted to the internet in October 2015. It was described as having a flying altitude of 20 to 24 kilometers, a flight duration of 6 months, and a payload of 100 to 300 kilos. Yuanmeng literally means fulfilling dream. Rick Fisher is a senior fellow at the International Assessment and Strategy Center in Washington, D.C. He told Voice of America that China's interest in the exploitation of near space actually began long before the PLA Daily article. Since the late 1990s, the PLA has been devoting resources for research and the development of preparing for combat in near space, the zone just below low Earth orbit, and offers stealth advantages, especially for hypersonic platforms, he said. In addition to round balloons such as the one shot down by U.S. aircraft on February 4th, he said, the PLA is also developing much larger blimp or airship stratospheric balloons that have solar-powered engines driving large propellers that enable greater maneuverability. Fisher said Chinese state-owned conglomerates such as China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation, aka CASIC, have full-fledged near-space programs like their Tengyun to produce very high-altitude UAV and hypersonic vehicles for the purpose of waging combat in near space. Tengyun literally means riding above clouds. In September 2016, Chinese official media reported that Project Tengyun, initiated by CASIC, was expected to be ready for a test flight in 2030. The so-called air spacecraft is designed to serve as a new generation repeat-use round-trip flying object between air and space, a deputy general manager of CASIC told the second Commercial Aeronautical Summit Forum held in Wuhan that month. Another 4 project proposed by CASIC also bore the concept of cloud in their names. Feiyun, meaning flying cloud, focused on communication relay. Xingyun, meaning cloud on the move, would enable users to send text or audio messages even at the end of the earth or edge of the sky. Hongyun, meaning rainbow cloud, would be able to launch 156 satellites in its first stage, and Kuaiyun, meaning fast cloud, would be tasked with formulating a near-space spheric network. While China's openness about its near-space ambitions may be debatable, the speed with which it has made advances in related R&D appears to be indisputable. James Fennell is a retired U.S. Navy captain. In 2015, he retired as Director of Intelligence for the U.S. Pacific Fleet. He said, "Throughout my career that was focused on the PLA, I do not recall anything about the PLA having a balloon program, let alone to have balloons operating over U.S. territory." U.S. officials now say they are aware of at least 40 incidents, however, in which Chinese surveillance balloons have passed over countries on as many as 5 continents. Those presumably included an incident last December in which a high-altitude airship was photographed near the northern Philippine island of Luzon bordering the South China Sea. Fisher said that the United States would be well advised to emulate China in enhancing its capabilities in near space. The American aerospace company Lockheed Martin tested a technology demonstrator in 2011, but there has been no further development of operational stratospheric airships for the US since then, Fisher said. The PLA is correct to invest in stratosphere balloons and airships. The US must do more to develop these assets as well. I can't agree more. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.